Welcome back to Central Valley Today. The Big Tell is a regional filmmaking program that offers grants for the production of short documentaries. This year, 10 filmmakers featured stories from California's Great Central Valley. You can watch the Big Tell showcase right here on KC24 Saturday, November 26th at 8 p.m. And that is where you can see this next film in its entirety. We take a peek into the film Invisible Love. Let's take a look.
When I recognized that my husband needed help was after a couple of things happened that normally he did really well, all of a sudden became difficult for him. Like, he was a general contractor, and in his work he was starting to have difficulty, like remembering. He'd measure something with his tape measure and then go to cut the wood and go back and have to measure again because he couldn't remember, or to read it correctly.
So what happened was he went to Walmart, tried to drive back home, lost his way. Ended up in two towns past Merced, over into Chowchilla area.
He started acting different. By what I mean is that he was verbally abusive sometimes, or forgetful, and he would repeat himself over and over and over.
So joining us now is filmmaker Karina Turner, and your film is called Invisible Love, and it actually, so it tells a story that I'm very familiar with. So tell me what the film is about.
The film is about looking at the position of the caregivers, family caregivers who look after their loved ones who've succumbed to dementia, Alzheimer's.
Yes. So my mom, what they call it, the sandwich generation. So she was right in the middle, taking care of her mom with Alzheimer's and then taking care of me and my sister. And we were little. We were probably like 10 and my sister was 12. Some hard days, some very hard days for her. So how did you come upon this story? Why was this the story that you wanted to tell?
Because it's my story as well. I just didn't want to be in it. But I had taken care of my stepdad for 10 years. He passed away in 2018. And at that point, I had retired from my previous work in order to take care of him. Yeah. And when that was all done, I physically couldn't go back to what I did before. So I said, well, what do I do now? Yeah. So I revisited my love of theater, of film, of all of that. I love everything that's about it. So I began to learn how to be a filmmaker. Okay. And slowly, and then COVID hit. Yeah. So 2018, my stepdad passes. I'm trying to figure out what to do with myself. Then I thought, go back. So I started learning. When COVID hit, it actually was a blessing to me because my neighborhood playhouse needed to go online. Okay. Like everybody else, I need to continue, their work, and so that's how I cut my teeth as a filmmaker. Sure. Shooting, filming, and then here I am. One of the connections that I made through that adventure sent me an email telling me what the CMAQ was doing. Yeah. And offering this grant for filmmakers, and I thought, at first I thought, no, I'm not going to apply because I'm not going to get it. I'm still, at the early stages of my career, and but I thought, no, you lose 100% of the shots you don't take. Yeah. So I said, okay, I'll do it. I went through it. I was anxious through that, but I fulfilled it as best as I could, and then, Then I got the email saying that I got it, and I cried. I'm going to start watering up now. Okay. But I cried. I thought, no, I didn't think, really? I'm looking at it again? Yeah. I really got it.
I think that's such a familiar story for people who are a part of the Big Tell, because there are many first-time filmmakers. And what I really like about the Big Tell is that you don't have to submit proof of work. You don't have to submit a finalized film. And so it really is about storytelling. And so if your story is good and what you want to put out there is an interesting story, then you get to make your film. So when you set out to tell the story of caregivers, people who are taking care of loved ones who might not remember them, who are sort of in this final stage of life, did you know what story you were going to tell, or did you sort of find new branches of this story?
It was new branches because Because each individual caregiver has their own individual experience.
Right.
Yes, the disease has sort of a somewhat predictable course, but you don't know how the loved one's going to behave under the, the disease itself. You just don't know.
Yeah.
And, their personalities can change and turn into someone that they don't know.
Yeah.
The caregiver themselves, like, this isn't who I grew up with,
Yes.
this isn't the person I married, or what have you. And and then and the title Invisible Love came from two aspects. From my personal aspect, as I was taking care of my stepdad, people would always ask, how's your dad? How's your dad? How's your dad? And then it became, Karina no longer exists. I'm just this connection to him. And not that I resented it, but it made it challenging. I accepted the fact that my stepdad wasn't going to remember me. And that's the other invisible part, is that you become invisible to the one you're taking care of.
Yes.
Because they do forget who you are. They don't place you in their memories anymore.
Yes, it is a very, and I didn't realize this until I was older, like I can't imagine walking into my parents' house and having my mom not remember that I'm her daughter. And I saw that with my grandma. My grandma just didn't remember her sometimes. And so it's very sad, but I think when you hear other stories, when you get to hear stories from filmmakers like you who go out and seek those, it feels a little less isolating. It feels a little less like I'm the only parent, I'm the only kid out there whose parent forgets them. So I am excited to see the film in its entirety. I'm glad that you found this one, because it happens a lot in the Central Valley. This is a very important story to tell for the Central Valley. So Karina, thank you so much. I'm excited to see it. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Up next, we continue caring for our loved ones. Dr. Ravi Sandhu of Synergy Home Care joins us next to talk about how they can help in your home after this.